Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Today we got a video about Marvel Tokon. I know we all seen the video. I seen it, you seen it, and now we thinking, who are the characters? Well, we probably won't find out for a while, but I wanted to put together a little wish list that I had and just, go over a few characters that I think the devs should put in the game, especially since they said they don't really want to repeat what Marvel already did. They want to use a lot of new characters. So my list will consist of a lot of new characters. As you can see, it's all right here. You see it from the beginning, go through it and see, who you like, who you don't like, who you agree with, who you disagree with. Just go ahead and take a look at it. First things first, in the comments, let me know your top 8. Let me know your 8 people who you need to be in this game. Top 8, like MySpace back in the day. So let's get started. First one, brand new mutant. Matter of fact, she's not even out at the time of me recording this video. Her name is, I guess it's going to be pronounced Mutina. She's basically going to be an Uncanny X-Men number 17. But the comic is selling out. Her design is crazy. I put up a picture, as you can see. The design, it works perfectly. It looks great. She's popular right now. I mean, we don't know her story yet. And like I said, it's supposed to be, she's an Uncanny X-Men number 17 debut, brand new. We're going to find out what's going on. But for now, she's literally my number 1. Well, I won't say number 1. I'll say number 2. She, if I had to pick 2, she would be my number 2. Just because character design go crazy. My number 1, real one, Jubilee. Always overlooked. She's been around forever. Like, it took them forever. She was a teenager for like 30 years. Like, it's crazy. Like, she's finally grown up. She out there. She had a little shine in X-Men 97. She ain't never been in any other game, so I say Jubilee. Next person, brand new character, Amaranth. She's actually an apprentice of Scarlet Witch. So Amaranth is actually, said to be kind of powerful as far as I know. Right now, she's in a run for new champions. She's in a comic book run for them, included with, it's her and, some other people, some of the newer, younger heroes. But her parents are chaos and witchcraft. They were literally fighting. And next, we need some villains, of course, right? You gotta have villains. Good villains, not just any villain. Apocalypse, right? Sure, he was in the movie, but he hasn't been in any of the games. So I say we give it, any of the fighting games. Get him a spot, give him a move set. I mean, Apocalypse character design, he's actually powerful. I feel like he should be the boss. Apocalypse could be the boss. He could be the bad guy, the number 1 villain, right? We'll leave it at that. Bring in Apocalypse. Next, Blade. Marvel owes Blade. They canceled his movie. They won't let Wesley Snipes do it. Like, he just sitting out there in limbo. But he's kind of going crazy in the comic books, right? Like, they just had the Vampire. Of course, you know about the Vampire Knights in Marvel Rivals if you play Rivals. But they actually pulled that story a little bit from the comic books. So, Blade, basically, he's going crazy. He actually called up the Avengers, had them all meet in one place, then had his boys roll up on them, wiped them all out. They barely got out. I believe Strange got them out. So that was the only way they escaped. He could take over for Dante and Virgil, fill that void for, you MVC folks out there, the classic ones. Next, Psylocke, classic character from the old games. From Children of the Atom. Go ahead and bring her back. She's been in a few others, but recently she hasn't really been in anything. Popular character, also Marvel Rivals, popular. Bring her back. It'll bring people in. Next, Emma Frost. We know why this game need Emma Frost, right? We know. It's not going to be the same rivals, Marvel Rivals Emma Frost, but it's still Emma Frost. We know she about that business, okay? She's been a villain. She's been a hero. Great design. Next, Magic. Magic, she's going crazy because of Marvel Rivals. She has a solo comic book out right now, going crazy, selling out. The first print, I know they at least did a second printing. They might have did more, but it was real hard to get. I barely got it. I think I paid like $25 for the first print. I barely made it. Anyway, bring in Magic. She would have a great moveset. Great moveset. Also, never been in any of the games. And she's popular now. Next, let's go with White Fox. She's a newer character. I think I remember reading Marvel Rivals was pushing her in the comic books. I do know, I forgot what else she was in. I forgot what comic book. She's in a comic book run right now with a group of other characters. But they're also talking about bringing her in Marvel Rivals. So if they bring her in Marvel Rivals, she's really going to jump up. She's a Korean superhero. And, that'll go, her and Luna Snow, they probably going to have some type of connection, at least in Marvel Rivals. So that's automatically going to make her popular because they're friends. They're going to be friends. So keep an eye out on White Fox. Next, we got Gambit. Classic character. Hasn't been in anything for a long time. The people want him. I say bring him back. He would be a sick character. Moveset go crazy. Right? Next, Scarlet Witch. She's at the height of her popularity. Between the comic books and between the movies, I don't think Scarlet Witch has been more popular since the House of M comic books, where she wiped all the mutants. Also, if they're bringing in Scarlet Witch, I want that Scarlet Witch, the villain Scarlet Witch. I don't want Wanda, nice Wanda. I want Scarlet Witch, going through tearing stuff up, crazy combos. I know you would have two Magic characters, but I'm pretty sure they could work it out. They could make it to where it's different. So bring in Scarlet Witch, evil. Next, Spider-Gwen, right? I'm tired of Spider-Man, but he's already in the game. We know that. We've seen the footage. We've seen the trailer. But I say bring in Spider-Gwen. She'll bring in new people. I know sometimes y'all hate new people, but she'll bring in new people. She's popular. She has different powers. Next, we can use Black Panther. He was in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but it literally flopped. People didn't really get a chance to play Black Panther. We all waited. We was like, oh, Black Panther's finally in the game, and you gave us Infinite. It was really just the character design of everybody, everything. All the characters looked horrible. Gameplay was actually good, but the characters looked horrible, and people just couldn't get over it. So bring back Black Panther, let's do him justice. Juggernaut. Juggernaut. He could be one of the villains. One of those big beefy characters. Classic characters from other previous fighting games, Marvel put out. So let's just bring him in. Give him a crazy moveset, crazy strong. I actually really like him over like a Hulk or something like that. Like I said, it's been a while. Hulk is in everything. He's in Rivals. He's in all that. So bring in Juggernaut. Next, Beast. I say Beast just because of variety. He would be new to the fighting games. I'm not really a fan of him like that. I don't know what his moveset would really be, but a lot of people I've been hearing on the internet want Beast. Plus, he's going to be in the upcoming MCU movies. As we all know, Kelsey Grammer is coming back to play him. So it makes sense. Next, Luna Snow. Easy pick. She's probably the most popular character behind Jeff the Shark on Marvel Rivals, possibly. I would say. I don't feel like anybody's more popular than Luna, especially coming off of that first season, and she's been consistently good. So Luna Snow, her comic book is going crazy too. So I say bring her in. And right here is my top 16. These are 8 characters we've already seen. Storm, I love that choice. Anytime you bring in Storm, I don't know. Like, I can get tired of Spider-Man and other people, but Storm, she's always different in every game. And I feel like although she's in the games, she never gets to shine that she deserves. That's why I love reading her new comic. It's just her solo. She left everybody. She's doing her own thing. Captain America, his moves look crazy in the game. If you told me Captain America was in the game, I wouldn't be excited, but Yeah, you know. But like I said, he looked crazy. Iron Man, his design, look like a Gundam in the game. Go crazy. I love Doom in the game. I love it. Doom is always a good choice. He's one of the best villains. He's the great villain. Like, he's powerful, but people still, they can still fight with him. You got Ghost Rider, barely in, a lot of the games. So I say, I'm happy with that choice. I'm not like, crazy about it, but I understand. Spider-Man, tired of Spider-Man. He's my favorite comic book hero, but I'm tired of him. But he's the most popular. Miss Marvel, they're going to keep pushing her, whether we like it or not. I actually like the show on Disney+. So, I actually like that she's in the game. I don't mind it. Star-Lord, I like his moveset in the game and his gameplay, but if you told me, hey, we're going to create a fighting game with Star-Lord, I wouldn't have been too thrilled about it. I wouldn't have thought about it at all. Now, if for whatever reason, they come out with the full 32, these are the last 8. Magneto, bring him back. He was the villain that everybody could understand. Before there was a Killmonger, before it was Thanos, it was Magneto. Like, you understood why he felt the way he did. It was always him and Charles, and it was just a back and forth. And you say, hey, I understand why you're doing it. It was never like, oh, he's just straight up bad. Matter of fact, some other people on the X-Men have done worse things than he's done just because. Well, not on the X-Men, but in the X-Men comics. Mystique, particularly. Next, Rogue. The streets want her. I'm not too much of a big fan. I see why you want her. She's a great character, But She-Hulk. I'm tired of seeing Hulk, so I went with She-Hulk. That's really all this pick is. I don't know if they would put her in the game over Hulk, but it would be a little change. Something different than the previous Versus game. Wolverine, you gotta have him. Last time a Marvel game came out that didn't have Wolverine, it flopped. MVCI. They couldn't get the X-Men characters. Game flopped. People hated it. One of my favorites, X-23. Go ahead, bring her back. I know they're kind of similar, but if you played the previous Marvel games, you know what it would be. Especially it's a whole different company making these games. So you never know what type of gameplay and mechanics these characters will have. I think they still could coexist in the same game. Next, you got Miles Morales. I know what you're thinking, right? You got Peter. I already said Gwen. Now I want to bring in Miles. But, actually if I had to, I would switch Gwen and Miles. Just because his electric power, he has more powers than Spider-Man also. Like, he would be the best Spider-Man to be in the game. Just because he would be a little bit different, but still familiar to everybody. So Miles got to be in there. Plus, he just got the new comic book Incursion just came out. Or was about to drop. I have to check. Pre-ordered it. Should be on the way. Incursion is about to go crazy. It sounds crazy. Next, Doctor Strange. But this isn't, Stephen Strange. This is actually his wife, Clea. And you probably like, Doctor Strange had a wife? I didn't even know. Yes, he had a wife. If I believe at the end of Multiverses of Madness, when Charlize Theron appeared, that's supposed to be her character. It's from what I know. But Clea is actually in the comic books. She is the ruler of the Dark Dimension. Her mother is Umar, and her uncle is Dormammu. Like, what's really going on? So, I would say put her in the game, and that way, you kind of give people a break from Stephen Strange. We had him in Infinite. We got him in Rivals. She would be something new, but still be able to give you those Sorcerer Supreme, move sets that people like. I say go with her. Next, Cyclops. He's literally the Ryu of the Versus games. I feel like he would have to be in there. He would actually be a crazy character. Like, Cyclops go crazy. I didn't like Cyclops back in the day, but X-Men 97, you know, it made him a little bit better, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of people like Cyclops after that, you know, X-Men 97. Because in the comic, in the old cartoon, and especially in the movies, like Wolverine was walking all over Cyclops. He was stealing his girl, stealing his bike, just bullying this man. He's the leader of the X-Men, and no respect. So, you know, I see why people want him. They hyped for him now for X-Men 97, bring in Cyclops. 32, base roster. I think that would be good. Now, if you have to go DLC, I'm trying to go through real quick. Thanos. The Mad Titan, right? In the comic books, he wanted to kill everybody over a woman, Lady Death. You don't get no more villainous than that. So I say bring him in. You know the moveset go crazy. A new character. She was actually in Uncanny X-Men also, the new run. Lady Harriet. I haven't read hers yet, but I love her design. I say go ahead, bring her in. Apparently, you know, once I read it, she's been around in the Marvel world for some years, so some backstory there. You know, going back to the South back in those days. Lady Harriet. As far as I know, she can turn into was it marble or something like that? So, kind of like a Colossus type character, but a woman. And apparently, she can also create golems from her powers also. So I don't know what they would actually do with it. Like I said, I haven't really seen too much of her moveset. I haven't read her arc of the comic book yet, but I saw the design and I loved it. A new character to put in. You kind of got to have Jean Grey. I know people tired of her from Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because all you saw was Phoenix all on the screen. Every turn of it. Jean Grey. But I think she would sell DLC. Like these four right here, DLC, next, Invisible Woman, Rivals has pushed her through the roof, and they have a movie coming out. People got to have her, right? I think her moveset would actually go crazy too. It would be nice. Some type of defensive moves, some barriers or something like that, but some setups, that would work. These four characters, you got Thanos, people paying for Jean Grey, Invisible Woman, one new character. As long as the movesets are clean, I don't see this really going wrong. I know it's probably not like favorites, but most of your favorites are going to be in the base roster already anyway, right? After these 32, you pretty much you're pulling from you know so many different franchises that you know at that point it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I would take them. Will they probably be at the top of your list? Nah, not really. I mean, it's already 32 people. It's like, you know, it's only so many people you can be excited for. But these four, if we like announced these as DLC in the trailer, jumped on the screen at Evo and people went crazy because of the gameplay, the way it was looking. New characters, old characters. You've never seen Invisible Woman in a fighting game before. Like, that would go crazy. Next DLC, because I would guess they would do 4 and 4. Next DLC pack, Deadpool. People gonna be waiting for him for a while. They had, you know, Dante and Virgil, right? So you can have Blade and Deadpool both in the game. See no problem with it. You know, Merc with a mouth. That's selling DLC. Deadpool is selling DLC. Now I know people probably looking like, who is Silver Sable? She's a Spider-Man villain from back in the day. When I used to read Spider-Man, like she was one of the characters that was like always in there messing with Spider-Man. You know, she's like, I don't want to say she's always a villain. She's more like an anti-hero, or just, I think she works for the government or something like that. But she would give you your Black Widow moveset. Like that way you wouldn't need Black Widow. Marvel already got rid of her in the MCU anyway. So it's kind of like, there's no reason to push her because she's not in the MCU. You can say, yeah, she's a fan favorite, but then now her sister's replacing her. But people don't really want to play as White Widow. You just get somebody new with the same moveset. Literally, guns, sniper rifle. She could be half Black Widow, half Bucky. So Let her do what she do. Loki, popular because of the show. Marvel Rivals out. I think he would sell really good with Deadpool. And last, Mephisto. They've been talking about bringing Mephisto in the MCU for a long time. People want him. I see the want. He was in the previous, I forgot which game he was in. He was in the previous Versus game. I say bring him back. One of the DLC. I really think Arc System Works could make all these characters work that I've named so far. All of them. Crazy movesets. People would love them. Even if you don't know who these characters are, you let Arc Sys get a hold of them, you're going to love them. Now, these last 8 DLC wishes, I'm not sure how they will work, but I would love to see them in the game. Real quick, Mantis. I love her in Marvel Rivals. Loved her in Guardians of the Galaxy. I would like to see her in a fighting game. She's actually a fighter in the comic books. She knows some, different fighting styles. She was raised by Buddhists who taught her Kung Fu. Let her do what she do so we can bring her in. Kang the Conqueror, another villain that we need. Bring him in. Let him do what he do. The internet is literally ready to jump through the screen wanting Nightcrawler. Let's bring in Nightcrawler. I don't know what you would do for him. His moveset would be crazy. He would have to be able to disappear on the screen. Somehow you hold the light, medium, and H, and it just puts him in different positions. Probably going to be a real technical character if they do. Next, Agatha Harkness. Disney Plus show went crazy. Had a lot of buzz around it. And then you looking, why bringing this old lady into the thing? Why we going to beat up an old woman? But look at this, right? Look, when she sucks in a lot of power, she gets young. She gets young again. So you take her younger version. I know you already have Scarlet Witch and Amaranth, but like I said, magic user. It's so much you can do with her that you could do differently from the other two. It's different types of magic. So I think she would go well. Mystique, I would love to see Mystique actually. I've always liked Mystique character design. X-Men 97 and X-Men in the movies. She's always been a great character. I don't know what you would do. Of course, people will want her to morph. I don't know if you could actually do that. But Arxis, they could pull it off. Next, Mr. Sinister. All right. Evil, evil, evil. You need another villain. I love villains. He's one of the weaker villains. I don't feel like his story is compelling enough. But he's still a favorite character from the cartoons. And I believe he's having a run in a few of the comic book stories now. So I would go with Mr. Sinister if they can do something with him. American Chavez, they were supposed to be pushing her like they're pushing Ms. Marvel. But after what happened with Multiverses, they kind of just, they ain't really talked about her at all. You ain't heard nothing about her. But she would have to be in the upcoming movies. Because I'm pretty sure these two form a group with everybody else, right? So you have to bring her back. This would be your chance, a new character in the fighting game for Marvel to showcase what she can do and make people actually like her and want to see her. So that's what you do. Last but not least, Vision. Okay? I did have Kitty Pryde right here just because she's a fan favorite and people want her. I don't know what you would do. She could just phase through stuff and that's it. But Vision, he can phase through things also. He can also fly and, do a lot of other things that she can't do. So that's why I end up going with him. Plus, it's another guy on the roster, And also, he can have interactions with Wanda and other Avengers. So right here, this is what I have. Base roster, hopefully DLC, if possible. I think there's going to be a lot of characters at the end of the life cycle for this game. 4v4, you're going to need variety. And their previous games, they've had up to almost 40 characters for something. So they definitely can do it. Just hopefully the gameplay doesn't get stale and they keep everything fresh. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for stopping. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Give it a like if you want to. Give it a thumbs down if you want to. Leave your top 8 in the comments. I want to see what other people would pick if, you know, any of it matches up. Maybe I'll, you know, learn about somebody from reading one of y'all comments. So just let me know. Like I said, thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.